little scared, neither one prepared. Beauty and the Beast, ever just the same, ever a surprise, ever as before, ever just as sure as the sun will rise. Tale as old as time, tune as old as song, bittersweet and strange, finding you can change, learning you were wrong. Certain as the sun, rising in the east, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast.
We are here at D23, the ultimate Disney fan event. Let's hear it! Well, welcome to Beauty and the Beast, a tale as old as time. I'm Ashley Eckstein. Thank you. Now, you might recognize me as the voice of Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars. And on shows like Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. But before my career took me to a galaxy far, far away, I was just a young girl growing up in Orlando, Florida. And I love Disney. Yes, shout out to Orlando. And I was inspired to one day become an actress because of the iconic Walt Disney Animation Studio films like Beauty and the Beast. Yes! Now, I don't know about you all, but I will never forget the first time I saw Beauty and the Beast in the theater. It literally took my breath away, and it was unlike anything that I had ever seen before. It was truly a core life memory. But guess what? Because today, we are about to make another core memory right here in this room at this panel as we celebrate the 35th anniversary of this classic film. And wait, there's more. And the acclaimed Broadway show that it inspired. Now, Beauty and the Beast was released on November 22nd, 1991, and it was directed by Gary Trousdale and Kurt Wise. Now, it had an all-star cast, including the incredible Disney legend Paige O'Hara as Bobby Benson as Beast, Richard White as Gaston, Jerry Orbach as Lumiere, David Austin Stiers as Cogsworth, Disney legend Angela Lansbury, and Joanne Rory as Wardrobe. Now, production of the film took 3.5 years and required talents of nearly 600 animators, artists, and technologists. Now, portions of the film were animated at Disney Animation's Florida studio, which was once called Disney MGM Studios at Walt Disney World. Now, Beauty and the Beast was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, and it was the first animated feature in the history of the Oscars to be nominated for Best Picture. The film won for Best Song, Beauty and the Beast, and Best Original Score. Now today we have an incredible lineup of some of the talented actors, musicians, filmmakers, and artist who brought this incredible story to life. Now, please help me welcome to the stage, and we're kicking this thing off in the biggest way, so I want to hear the biggest round of applause you could possibly give me for each panelist. First up, he supervised the animation of Belle, as well as many other beloved heroines like Ariel, Jasmine, Mulan, and Tiana. Please welcome to the stage, Mark Henn. Disney animation films, including The Lion King, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Please welcome Don Hahn. Next up, she's a star of film, Broadway, opera, and she's a Disney fine artist. Is there anything that she can't do? Please welcome the voice of Belle herself, Paige O'Hara. And finally, he's an 8-time Academy Award-winning producer, composer, who has created the soundtrack of our lives, writing music for films like Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and so much more. Please welcome to the stage, Alan Menken. Okay, y'all, I can't believe I'm up here on this stage. This is amazing. Welcome and congratulations. 35 years. How are you feeling in this moment right now?
I feel quite old. A lot older.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, we're gonna dive into all the things. That video that we watched at the beginning, I mean, I teared up the first time I saw it. It was incredible. But Dawn, it took a lot to get to that moment, to get in production, to get to that point. Can you take us on the journey?
Yeah, I think a lot of times people feel, oh, it's Disney and these ideas come fully formed, dropped from heaven into our brains, and it's so not true. This is a picture of us in London. I first got the call on Beauty and the Beast when I was working on Roger Rabbit, and we just finished that. And thank you. It's my sister over here. And we worked with a terrific director, Richard Purdom, in London. This is a picture of us on the left. You can see Tom Stito on the floor with Dick Purdom, legend Andreas Deja, Glenn Keane, Gene Gilmore, a character designer, and a young Don Hahn in that picture in London. And then we went on a research trip. We did 20 minutes of the movie. This is, we went to Chambord in the Loire Valley, and the Beast and Gaston fight on these parapets. Later, we used them as inspiration for that. So we did a lot of work, and then that 20 minutes we showed to our executives, and they said, well, this isn't working. We threw it all out, changed directors, and started over. So the creative process is painful, and it takes a long time, but we were so fortunate because that's the time when Howard Ashman and Alan Menken became available.
Wow, now Paige, I mean, where do we even start? Can you tell us about some of your first memories of becoming Belle? I mean, what was it like from your perspective, creating this now iconic character?
You know, my 5-year-old self here in my mind, falling in love with Disney at that time, and I've always been a huge fanatic for the animation films. And Mary Poppins is my favorite film, but thank you. Of course, other than Beauty and the Beast. But when I first heard about it, of course I'd seen Little Mermaid, huge hit, brilliant. Thanks to you and Howard, that film would have never happened. I don't think you guys know that whole story, but this man made the resurgence of animation happen. I just remember reading about it in the New York Times, and I called my agent and I said, you have got to get me an audition for this. And she got me in there, and I auditioned with 500 other actresses. And they had a reel-to-reel tape recorder in this little room with Albert Tavares and me, and that was it. And I did several auditions after that, and being cast in it was literally life-changing. It really was, to be honest, in a wonderful way.
Yes. Yes, well, I can say this, I think you've changed all of our lives as well, so thank you. So, Dawn, tell us a bit more about the casting process, with Paige and, the fellow stars of the film. I mean, the cast was incredible.
It was. We went to New York to cast the movie, and that's partially because of Howard and Alan, because we wanted to go to a Broadway cast, and singers and those kinds of performers exist in Hollywood, but not to the level that they exist in New York. We could go see 100 bells there if we needed to. And I remember it because Paige walked in, and she had this kind of Judy Garland quality to her voice, and we kept calling you back and saying, oh, maybe that was just that day, and it just got better. And the thing, and Howard actually taught us this, we weren't looking for singers, we were looking for actors that can sing. We weren't looking for singers that can act. And Paige is the consummate actress, and I mean, I can point out a million scenes in the movie where that is so obvious, but that was the key, is this beautiful voice and a person who could act anything that we threw at you, including real tears, and sing on top of it. True.
Now, Mark, how did you approach animating a heroine like Belle?
Well, it's as Don said, it's all about acting, and animators in my position, we're kind of collectors of information. So you're hearing the track that Paige laid down, you're looking at the storyboards, you're getting information from the directors, and we take all this information and put it together to create a performance. And as you can see there, that was a younger version of me. I was at the Florida studio at the time, and I was leading Belle from the Florida studio. But it's really about making acting choices, understanding who Belle is, again, getting a lot of inspiration from Paige's track, and just kind of putting that all together.
I actually was going to ask, how much did Paige's performance and the performance of the other actors impact your animation?
Well, it always has a big impact. Again, you're listening to it, you listen to it repeatedly, listening for phrasing, listening, of course, for the acting and the emotion behind it. And so that's the most important thing, because to me it is an acting job, acting with a pencil instead of me being on stage myself.
Absolutely. He is as much Belle as I am, and we share this role.
Thank you for bringing that up, because as the voice of an animated character myself, it takes a team. For me, it's Ahsoka Tano, I say Team Tano. It's Team Belle, it's Team Beauty and the Beast.
Add Linda Wolverton to that list too. And Howard, there's a lot of Howard in Belle too.
Yes. Well, speaking of incredible cast members, Alan, the incredible Disney legend Angela Lansbury, she was perfect for Mrs. Potts. But is it true that she originally turned down the role?
Well, yeah, okay. First of all, is Angela and Shirley Orbach, two absolute legends. They were both amazing, absolutely amazing to work with. But yes, originally, Howard and I would do the demo our songs, and we would play the characters. And that would be like a blueprint for the performances, and also for what we do with the orchestrations and what we do with the development of the song. And they sent the demo of Beauty and the Beast to Angela, and they came back and said, well, Angela said, this is not for me. Wait a second, which demo did you send? Well, we sent yours, of course. And I did, tale as old as time, true as it can be. I said, no! Send Howard's demo with tale as old as time. And thank God that and then Angela said, oh, I get it. Yeah. And Angela agreed to do it. And oh my God, both Angela and Jerry, just amazing. And Angela, I remember that day of that recording session. Have any of you seen the Howard documentary?
Produced by.
Angela had just flown in for that session, and Angela and Jerry were both going to be our guests as Beauty and the Beast at the same session. And Howard was there, but I think it was clear to all of us quietly he was not well. And it could not have been more wonderful with him and the heart that they put through. Can I just do one thing? When I was about to come off on stage from there, I thought, could you imagine if you could actually announce and have to walk out, Howard?
I love that idea. Absolutely.
He's the star of the whole thing. I think we all would have to give it up for his brilliance. And every second of Beauty and the Beast has his heart in it. And I hope in some ineffable way, moments like this, his spirit knows that we are here.
He's here.
And the effect he's had.
Thank you.
You know what? I don't think any of us have a dry eye in the house. Let's have a funny transition because Paige, what's up next actually is quite funny. And we have a behind-the-scenes video. I love all the behind-the-scenes sneak peeks of how you crafted one of Belle's iconic lines. Let's watch this video and take a look.
1887, take one.
Gaston, you are positively primeval. Gaston, you are positively primeval. Gaston, you are positively primeval.
Say what?
Gaston, you are positively primeval.
You've got it. What's that? 1887, take two.
Gaston, you are positively primeval.
Good.
Gaston, you are positively primeval. Gaston, you are positively primeval.
That's the way to go. Yeah.
I'd love to hear the directors and everyone cracking up in the background. How did you think to deliver the line that way?
Well, I owe it to my idols that I studied my whole life in comedy. Those two are Carol Burnett and Imogen Polka. Yeah, not bad. I used to study their comedy, but it's just...
Yeah, we never met for these videos to be seen. These were shot for animators, so we had a little home video that actually used magnetic tape, which some of you younger people in the audience, that was actually coated with a brown thing. Anyway, we shot it for Mark so that he could study, Paige's expressions and that kind of thing. So this was never meant to be seen, and thank God we shot it.
It's true. It was fun to pick on Richard White. Richard and I were friends for many years before this film happened.
Yeah.
We sang at Houston Grand Opera together. We sang at the Cairo Opera House, and we were good buddies. So picking on him was really easy. He's still great and still sings like he used to.
Do we even get to one other very iconic line and the story behind it, which is new and a bit alarming. And she was singing, remember the story? She was singing, new and a bit alarming.
I couldn't get it right, and Howard was on there.
Howard was, at this point,
That's it.
couldn't be in the studio. He was on the phone from, I guess, bed. And he said, no, babe, I'm alarming. Say, Streisand.
Streisand, that was it.
That was it.
Discover, Streisand.
It was great.
New, come on.
You and a bit alarming.
Alarming.
Hey,
It's just that, you know, a simple note and, you know.
But it goes to your point about acting first, because she's acting and then that impacts the song. Well, so we actually have a rarely seen rough version of that scene. So let's watch.
Hello, Belle.
Bonjour, Gaston. Gaston, may I have my book, please?
How can you read this? There's no pictures.
Well, some people use their imagination.
Belle, it's about time you got your head out of those books and paid attention to more important things. Like me. The whole town's talking about it. It's not right for a woman to read. Soon she starts getting ideas and thinking.
Gaston, you are positively primeval.
Why, thank you, Belle. What do you say you and me take a walk over to the tavern and take a look at my trophies?
Maybe some other time.
What's wrong with her?
She's crazy.
She's gorgeous.
Please, Gaston, I can't. I have to get home to help my father. Goodbye.
That crazy old loon, he needs all the help he can get.
Don't talk about my father that way.
Yeah, don't talk about her father that way.
My father is not crazy. He's a genius.
That really was the perfect reading of that line. It's very cool to see the behind the scenes. Now, Mark, I want to go back to what we already kind of briefly talked about, but now that we've seen the footage, did you watch all the footage? Like, how much of Paige's performance in the studio is in the animation?
Well, like I had said before, it's a lot of information from various sources, storyboards, directors, as well as Paige's performance. As I mentioned, I was working at the Florida studio at the time, and Andreas, who was animating Gaston, he was in California. So we had to, work out the logistics for, working cross country, which really isn't that difficult, because what you find is in the characters where you have multiple characters, somebody's going to lead the action. So depending on the scene, maybe it's Gaston is kind of the lead, Belle reacting to him, vice versa. Sometimes it's Belle acting out first, and then Gaston gets added in. So it's really not too difficult to work out all the logistics. But again, it's all about the acting, listening to how Paige's performance, the highs and lows, the phrasing and all that kind of thing.
But also, I think a lot of us in this room were around in the 90s, in the previous century. Keep in mind, this was before video chats. This was when there was a landline and beepers, and you couldn't just pick up a video chat with someone.
No, we had clay tablets.
Sent by mule, across the country.
Sorry, back to you.
Okay, well, I am loving this behind-the-scenes footage and the stories. Now, we have one more really fun look behind the scenes to share. Dawn, can you set this one up for us?
Well, Mark, you mentioned the inspiration of storyboard artists, and this was the head of story on Beauty and the Beast, Roger Allers. Now, in a bittersweet way, we lost Howard earlier we lost Roger earlier this year. Roger Allers is a brilliant story person, worked on Mermaid, worked on so many of these films, and directed Lion King later. We captured him pitching Be Our Guest for the very first time on video. And it's because we were shooting some early stuff for the ABC program 2020, and they were following us around for a full year to show people what the art of animation was. And to capture what the art of a storyboard artist was, we filmed Roger pitching his storyboards on Be Our Guest. And we have that for you to take a look at.
All
on unfolding. Keep some of that. Lights and there, you'll be our guest. We our guest, be our guest.
In a performance worthy of Robin Williams, storyboard supervisor Roger Allers raced through the picture layout, changed the boards, and mimed how the song, called Be Our Guest, will turn into an extravaganza of dancing saucers and spoons, led by a singing candlestick, serving up a banquet for the beauty. With a little imagination, those pencil sketches on a storyboard start to come to life.
It's a performance. I think people, you don't realize what a performance and how much energy comes from that story group that inspires all of us.
Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Now, okay, Alan, when you and Howard would step into a story like this, we've already talked about it a little bit, but I really want to expand on what you're looking for when it comes to actors. Because obviously they need to have incredible voices. I mean, Paige is a Broadway star, so they need to sing, but the acting has to come first. Why is that so important to you?
Well, each song...
How long do you have? How much time do you have? No, go ahead, Bill.
And then also I want to know, because not only do they need to act, but then how do you decide what moment there is a song?
I didn't get to the first question.
I'm just so excited.
Sorry.
Are we in a hurry? Okay, well, first of all, yes, it's voice talent for an animated film, first of all. And yet each song is designed for iconic kind of performance, iconic kind of character that really captures the tone and the style of the song, of the culture it comes from. All of the dynamics of that song are carried by that voice. So that's going to be the most important thing, first of all. As far as song moments, it's all part, any musical is part of a structure. You're telling a story through a protagonist that goes through a journey, and you're looking for how you can continue to move the story inexorably forward, capturing the moments that you need to capture that are usually the emotional turning points. But you also are balancing certain elements. You want to have a song like A Beauty and the Beast that's really a montage, but also Mrs. Potts singing it to her son, Chip, and telling him this timeless story. But then, you want to have that big piece of animation where you can have a production number, like Be Our Guest. And then you have a number like Gaston, which is pure comedic extravagance. I mean, the thing with that one, Howard was expert at beating up his villains. And he really was. I mean, he was just slapping, he was slapping Gaston all over the place. I use antlers in all of my decorating. We take that, for granted. But I go, he put the lyric in front of me. It's like, I use antlers in all of my decorating.
It's brilliant.
It's so hard.
Or every last inch of me's covered with hair. Or he's talking about who's got the cleft in his chin. And he's really capturing the dynamic between LeFou and Gaston's vanity, and all of that. So, again, in each song moment, you have to have the right voice, and you have to have exactly the right approach to that moment, and how the moments all interact with each other musically. And then I have the blessing of being able to score it, so I'm taking those themes throughout the film and also tying that together. And I gotta say, Howard twisted my arm about scoring these films. We started with Mermaid. I had never scored a film before. And he said, you have to do this. You have to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. But you know.
Thank God he did
Yeah.
not talk to me.
And it's, so it's a big question, but yes.
Well, it sounds like, and I never had the chance to meet him. I've heard so much about Howard Ashman, and it just sounds like he was a really great friend. And
Well, it was just, Howard was just such a brilliant creator of the interface between some songs and some material and telling a story. I mean, he had the essence of what was classic, going all the way back to the earliest days of Disney, and yet at the same time being entirely contemporary.
And he had such a depth of knowledge of the theatrical genre. He would come in and say things like, Gaston, he's like Miles Gloriosus in Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. And we would all go, yes, Miles Gloriosus. And then we would go home at nighttime and had to look up who that was.
Yeah.
It's true.
now, Alan, you went on to write the music along with Tim Rice for the legendary stage production of Beauty and the Beast, which was the inaugural production of Disney Theatrical Group and premiered on Broadway in 1994. But let me read off a few statistics about the power of this show. Broadway audiences loved the production immediately, leading to an extraordinary 13-year run. And today, it still ranks as one of the longest running shows in the history of Broadway.
And I think it's coming back, they say.
Coming back.
Perhaps.
The production was nominated for 9 Tony Awards, winning for Best Costume Design. Now, worldwide, there have been productions in 17 countries. It's been seen by more than 38 million people and translated into 17 different languages. Now, we can't talk about Broadway without bringing out the original Belle in Broadway. She received Tony Award and Drama Desk nominations for Best Actress. She then went on to voice Megara in Disney Animation. She's going to be inducted as a Disney Legend this weekend. Please welcome to the stage, Susan Egan. Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Aren't you loving her outfit? I'm dying. It's so good.
I told Susan she could borrow it after I'm done. Okay, now Susan and Alan, we have to talk about Broadway. So the show was the Broadway debut for both of you and for Disney. So tell us about what it was like to be a part of this historic production.
What was it like taking it from the film to the stage, Alan?
That was the first, but there was first of all, we faced a lot of cynicism.
100%.
Yeah. And we got some rough reviews.
Yeah, you want to hear mine? Ben Brantley, New York Times. Poor little Susan Egan. Apparently acting wasn't a prerequisite for the role. Oh, it was Diva and Rich.
But wait a second. Okay, wait a second. In the review...
But we're not at all bitter.
Wait.
It's been 32 years. We should get over it.
I remember all my bad reviews. But anyway, in the review, he was ridiculing a lot of things about the show. And he's mentioning one, I think, stage move. And he said, oh my God, the astonishments rarely cease. Meaning, oh my God, look at that. And the astonishments rarely cease was over the marquee of the show for like
But of course, there was an important review before the Broadway review, and
Yes.
it was the review
That
of
was
the film
Frank
from
Rich.
Frank Rich.
Frank Rich.
And Frank Rich, this was for the animated feature, and it said the best Broadway show of this year was an animated feature from Disney called Beauty and the Beast.
Right, right. And
Smart.
no, I have been trying to talk Disney for years. I've talked to Michael Eisner about, we should, I played in various shows of mine. He said, Broadway is not good business for Disney. Frank Rich's article, there's a bing! Light bulb went off. Maybe this is a good idea. And then Rob Roth had a wonderful concept. Rob directed the original production. And, but yeah, so in adapting it, you're looking for certainly how do you expand it. One of the major expansion points was the Beast. We were never able to give Robbie Benson as the Beast a song to sing in the animated, which I think made sense. I don't think it would have really worked in the animated in that context. But that was the main new element was of having the Beast sing.
It was exciting because the movie's 90 minutes and the play's 2.5 hours, so you had an hour more material to create. So they already loved this character. I mean, it's because of everything you did, but then getting to come out and they already love that blue dress, the spine of the blue dress, and then to get to share like new ideas from you.
Also, in the medium of film, whether it's animation or live action, you have close-ups, and you see the character's face, and you go, oh, he's noticing this, or thinking this, or feeling that. On stage, it's a different medium, and it's more of an opportunity to express that in song. Songs are, in a sense, can be the close-up.
Human Again.
Yes, thank you.
Howard loves that song.
Human Again was one of the
Most brilliant song.
wrote, and we could never figure out how to get it. It was just it was like a 9-minute number. And it also involved a lot of plot elements as you're developing an animated musical, story changes are happening right and left. But we were able to get that song into the Broadway show, which was...
And it is the essence of the whole story, what it means to be human. What is it, can I be, can I change, can I become human again, and what does that mean, and the transformative powers of love, and, we got to listen to that. Terry and I, Beast and I, we would sit up in the library after our scene, and we would just face up stage and get to listen to this cast sing that song in 3/4 time. And it warmed my heart every single night. It's beautiful.
Now, Susan, is that one of the advantages that you had as playing one of the few human characters in the story?
So Michael Eisner used to call me the bag lady because I had a basket and nobody else on stage, they either couldn't bend over or they didn't have hands. So whenever something fell, like a prop, I would just in the middle of the scene go and get it, put it in my basket. And then at the end of the play, they would come find the props. Yeah, but it's like poor Gary, he had candlestick hands. Like there was nothing he could do. And Beth was like in a teapot costume, also useless.
Things you don't think about until you're in the costume. Okay, well, we have one more person here who can definitely understand that. She's joining us from the current North American tour, the first produced Beauty and the Beast to launch in North America in over 25 years, which reunites members of the show's original creative team, including Alan Menken and writer Linda Wolverton and director-choreographer Matt West. The production is currently playing at the Hollywood Pantages Theater in Los Angeles. Yes, so please go check it out. It's now through September 6th, or now, I don't know. There's a teleprompter, so don't trust me on dates. It's in Los Angeles through September 6th, and then it will be in the Sagerstrom Center for the Performing Arts in Orange County from September 22nd through October 11th. So please welcome to the stage, currently starring as Belle, Kira Bell Johnson. know, were you named after Belle?
I wish I was that cool. It's a family name, but I'm so grateful to have it, yeah.
Well, welcome. I mean, okay, speaking of, whether you were named after her or not, you are a part of this legacy. What does it feel like to be continuing the legacy right now?
I don't know why I'm here today. I'm like sitting on this stage with these absolutely iconic creators of this story, which is the reason everybody is sitting in this room today. We all love this story after 35 years. So it is truly just my goal to get out of the way and let the story tell itself. It's so fun. Belle is so grounded. She's so kind, but she's fierce and she stands up for herself. And that's something that I try to embody in my life. So I really just try and let the story speak for itself.
You know what, I just have to shout out a second to all of the kids who felt awkward. I was the kid who beat to my own drum. Belle really helped me. Belle made me feel seen. And I think we all related to Belle in that way. So, thank you. As an 11-year-old girl who needed to feel seen, thank you. Okay, so it's a tale as old as time. This story is timeless. Why is it still resonating with fans after 35 years? And Kira, I'll start with you, but anyone else that wants to chime in?
What I see and experience at every stage door in every city across America that we've been in is there's a generational connection. We get so many people who come to the show with their children who say, this was the first Broadway show I ever went to, and now I'm bringing my kid to their first show. And I always ask this question whenever anybody says it's their first show. I say, would you come back and try another one? And I've always gotten a yes. So I think what's so awesome about Disney being in theater is it brings people to the theater who have never sat in a theater and watched a musical before, and they always want to come back and try another one. So Disney's bringing people, fans, theater fans, and I'm like, yay! Yeah, I know, it's wonderful. But I also think this story, there's a character in this story that everybody has in their lives. Everybody has a Gaston, or they have a Mrs. Potts, or they have a Belle, or they feel like they are a Belle. And I think for 35 years, people have continued to connect with these characters that were so well written and so fleshed out. I just went and watched the film last week. I go back and revisit it. It's just brilliant.
This incredible musical impacted Broadway and just theater in general? I mean, Alan, Susan, Kira.
So I sort of have a theory from '94. You know, they didn't know if people would come, and they didn't know who would come, and they were sort of telling us and warning us, the executives, if there's kids running up and down the aisles, you know, just expect it. That may happen, and it never happened. No. They were enraptured from the beginning because they knew that film and they had played that VHS tape backwards and forwards. And it is exactly what Kira is saying, that it brought people to the theater for the first time, and it wasn't just the kids, it was also the parents. And so it created these theater goers. And what's interesting is when I first moved to New York in 1992, theater was kind of dying out. It was some British musicals and some revivals, and Beauty and the Beast was a shot in the arm. And it brought families, and then I pontificate that 2 years later, Rent brought the teenagers, and then that was it. That was it. Now Broadway had a new golden era, and all kinds of shows followed, following in Disney's footsteps, taking their film IP and creating musicals like Hairspray and Legally Blonde. And, you know, everybody was going to get in on it because Disney was smart to go there first.
Okay, well, since we have 3 Belles on stage, I know, right? Paige, I want to start with you. Tell us what's your favorite part about playing Belle?
Well, you know, it's things like you were talking about, that Belle has enabled people who feel like they're out of place to feel like they're special, and that it's really okay to not be okay, and that's really not the problem. You just have to enjoy who you are and embrace that person. I do these events, and it's constantly, I had a lot of women that come up to me and start crying, and they said, I felt like such an idiot when I was growing up, and I was a bookworm, and people made fun of me all the time, and I saw your movie, and now I realize it's really cool to be different. And so that part is just resonates, and it's there forever.
Susan, what do you love? I think we all relate to that. Do you know, I mean, finding that inner sort of outcast that doesn't quite fit in. And then I also just love her journey. The Beast's journey is so clear, right? But Belle also has a journey. You know, she has a preconception about the town. She thinks the Beast is going to be one way here, and through the challenge and through the uncertainty, she just takes it moment by moment and makes a choice. And the choice is always upward aimed. And it tells us that, like, even in the midst of all of the things that we might be going through, just breathe in that moment and make a choice, and then just make the next choice. And then she got a yellow dress, so they were all the right choice.
Such wisdom. Can you just narrate? Can I like wake up to that every morning? Kira,
I have to tell you that when I first saw Susan on Broadway, I was sitting, my husband and I and Michael were sitting in the chair, and I said, I feel like I'm watching my little sister on stage. I just fell in love with Susan. I just did. It was so cool. I'll never forget that night. And that's when we met.
Ultimate compliment.
Oh my gosh. I just got chills. Kira, what about you? What do you love about playing Belle?
I can't follow that. I honestly, what you were saying rings so true. I'm very much in the process of still doing this every single night. And something that I love about it is the moment to moment. She really gets a chance to be very present exactly where she is. She's not mad, she's just right. She thinks through things very well. She doesn't do things out of malice. She just knows who she is and believes in herself and knows that there is a greater life for her out there. And it's just amazing to get to live in this world. But for me, it's soaking in the music every single night. I get to listen to that score every single night and just be taken away into my fairy tale land. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced in my life.
And I have to say that just like Ariel in Mermaid or Jasmine in Aladdin, Howard, again, I gotta keep coming back to Howard, had the gift of taking both the iconic and totally contemporary and combining them in the character in a way that makes them just speak to a modern audience in a really deeply emotional and also familiar way.
In a timeless way. I just watched the film last week, and it holds up. It resonates no matter what age. And I found myself crying and changed all over again, so thank you. And Susan and Kira, speaking of music, you have a special treat for us. I would like the stage, and we're actually going to set aside for a moment.
So you may not know this, but the North American tour of Beauty and the Beast opened last night at the Pantages. This one here did 2 shows yesterday, went to the party for 45 minutes, then got in a car to come down here to be with all of you and all of us today. But some months ago, I got to see this magnificent production in Nashville where I live, and Kira Bell was so gracious to let me sing a little song with her, and I thought, what better way to...
You want to do it again?
I think
we're gonna see it again.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Unexpectedly
ultimate Disney fan event.